Yo, Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Marino the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squad's the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free.
What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. I'm having technical difficulties right now. I don't know what's going on with my camera layout. What the hell's going on? What a day it is. Monday, baby. The Miami Dolphins absolutely destroyed the Buffalo Bills. If anybody knows how to help me with this screen, I don't know what's going on. If anybody can give me some advice how to fix this, you got a super square up on my face right now. Zoomed in like a mofo. I don't know what happened, what's going on, but Miami Dolphins number one. The Miami Dolphins absolutely destroyed the Buffalo Bills yesterday. It wasn't just a win. And listen, I don't even think the Buffalo Bills played that badly of a game. The Miami Dolphins just played a very, very, very efficient, a very good football game. Tua, I think, looked better than he has all season. Yes, he had the 2 interceptions, but them interceptions, those don't bother me that much. They were on 3rd and long. You know, they were throws down the field. You know, you took a chance. If they pick the ball off, it's like a punt. Not a huge deal to me. This game did cost me $800. I bet against the Dolphins. You know, I'm sorry. I did. I bet against these Miami Dolphins. But man, what a if I'm going to lose $800, this is exactly the way that I want to lose it. Right? This is exactly the way that I want to lose it. If I'm going to lose money, man, let it be to the Miami Dolphins beating the Buffalo Bills. Again, if someone knows how to help me fix my camera, please give me some information to help me out. I don't know what the hell's going on with my layout right now. It's definitely throwing me off. Yeah, this whole situation's throwing me off right now. But man, I can't even get into, I don't even know where. I'm trying to see where I can put myself in the camera. Move this way. Bonnie says it was a total beatdown. Achane had a huge game. This defense played really well. Man, it was just a complete team win. We were able to stop the run. We were able to get turnovers. You can say what you want about Tua, and I've been super critical of Tua this year. But Tua's passes had zip on him yesterday. He was really accurate. The touchdown pass to Waddle, throwing the ball deep. Waddle made a great catch while being interfered with. Finding Washington in the back of the end zone, that was a huge play. Achane with his 2 touchdown runs at the end. He has been the Miami Dolphins' best players. One of the better players in the NFL. Devon Achane deserves his flowers. Could you imagine if this guy had a stable offensive line? And don't get me wrong, the offensive line performed well yesterday too. 0 sacks on Tua Tagovailoa yesterday. 0 sacks. The Miami Dolphins had a complete game. And this is why I say, that this team was never really built. You can criticize Tua, and like I said, I have, and I'm not a Tua-neer. But this team has never been truly built for Tua Tagovailoa. People want to think that it has been because we went and gotten him the big fancy Tyreek Hills and stuff. But look, we beat the Buffalo Bills for the first time in multiple years without a Tyreek Hill. Without Tyreek Hill. How did we do it? We were able to stop the run and run the football. That's the key. That's the key for Tua to be successful. Tua gets comfortable in those situations. When there's threat of the run, it opens up the passing game for the Miami Dolphins. Again, does anybody know how to fix my camera? Right now, it's not even showing me. It's not showing me what's on screen right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Pissing me right the hell off. But what does this do for the future of the Miami Dolphins? What's this mean for the future of the Miami Dolphins? People that want Mike McDaniel replaced, I think you're gonna end up having your feelings hurt. Because the Miami Dolphins are gonna have a real chance to go on a run. They're gonna have a real chance to go on the run. We got Washington in Spain. That's a winnable game for the Miami Dolphins. That's a winnable game for the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are eventually gonna get James Daniels back, you would think, at some point. Eventually get Austin Jackson back at some point. Maybe get Darren Waller back at some point. As far as I know, I don't think Darren Waller's out for the year. If anybody has any different information, let me know. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. Scrimp says, everybody tune in tonight to watch the Eagles crucify the Packers on Monday Night Football. Is it that is all? Thank you. Man, I hope that the Eagles crucify the Packers because the Packers have been super inconsistent this year. Super inconsistent. Lager hop. When you look at the scores from the past years, we scored 21, 31 points. Buffalo scored more. It's the defense holding Buffalo to under 20 is when we win. Yeah, I mean, the defense definitely got to come to play. The defense looked the best I've seen it all season. They were down there, Jordan Brooks forcing the fumble on Josh Allen. Josh Allen rumbling, tumbling down the field on a 4th and short. And it's one of those plays that is usually that's one of those plays that usually is a dagger to the Miami Dolphins, a dagger to their spirits, where they need 1 yard and then Josh Allen starts to take over. But Jordan Brooks is able to strip the football. We're able to recover. That was huge for us. Jack Jones with the peanut punch on James Cook. James Cook fighting for extra yards. Buffalo getting ready to go in and score. And Jack Jones has the focus and the knowledge to go and strip that football from James Cook. Absolutely a monster play for the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, I'm real zoomed in, right? I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to change it. I don't know how my camera, I don't know. I just woke up and it was like this. I am not computer literate. I don't know what's going on. Help me, help me. Nate Dog 13, keep McDaniel, keep Tua, and build around them. Staple players, Waddle, H.N., Paul Brooks. Nate Dog, that is a very unpopular opinion, brother. Listen, I'm not against keeping Mike McDaniel and Tua one more year. One more year. And if you want to, I think you still draft best players available. You don't go out there and build the team around. You just build a team the correct way, and I think you're all right. You go and you address the trenches. You make sure up your offensive line, sure up your defensive line. We obviously need cornerback help. And you give Tua and Mike McDaniel one more year just because of Tua's contract. If you think that we're going to be able to move on from Tua next year and have a competitive team, I highly doubt it just because of how much salary cap Tua takes up. So you might as well keep, if you're going to keep Tua and Tua's going to be the starter, you might as well keep Mike McDaniel. That's just the way I see it. If you have a different opinion, I get it. I understand. But this game yesterday was a perfect example. We didn't have Tyreek Hill. I wouldn't say any one of our other receivers besides Jalen Waddle is even a starting quality wide receiver. We don't got a true receiving tight end in yesterday. Our offensive line is half gone. Yet we were still able to perform at a fairly high level. You know what I mean? We were still able to perform at a pretty high level. So if you solidify that offensive line this offseason, you solidify that defensive line with our draft picks through free agency, whatever you can do. You go and you get some cornerback help. You give Tua and Mike McDaniel one more year. And then if those guys don't produce next year, 2027, you draft your quarterback of the future. And when we draft a quarterback of the future in 2027, your offensive line should already be taken care of. Your defensive line should already be taken care of. And that quarterback should be able to step in right away and hopefully give us a chance at competing in 2027. Because we can go out and we can get a quarterback next year. We can trade up. We can stack all our picks together and hopefully move up and get the number one quarterback, whoever it is, whether you're a Fernando Mendoza guy, a Moore guy. It depends on who you like. We can go up and get that quarterback next year, but we're not going to have any salary to build a team around that guy. Our offensive line's still going to be shitty. Our defensive line is still, questionable. We still don't have any corners. We don't have no money to put a team around these guys. Lager, that's the golden question, right? I thought these guys would have been back by now. Big C, somehow you selected 9:16 ratio, which is used for shorts. You want to be in the opposite ratio, 16:9. Where do I change that at? Where do I change that at, Finspin? Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to get this camera thing figured out. I don't know what the hell's going on this morning. That's why I hate being computer illiterate. Absolutely computer illiterate. Camera. No, not mirror my camera. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Visual effects. Nope, not that. Recording. Nope, not that. Sorry, folks. Just give me a second to try to figure this out. I don't know what the hell is going on. Maybe Mike Jones was in here doing some stuff. Yeah, I just don't. No, I'm on StreamYard. I don't know what the problem is. Like, I'm on StreamYard. I'm about to message Mike and see if he's up. Maybe he can figure it out. Yeah, folks. Sorry. Again, I'm not computer. I just don't see settings. Bring back the stage. No. Nope. Dang it. Driving me nuts. Yeah, but anyway, let's take a look at the game stats. In this game, I swear to God, when this game started yesterday, I thought it was going to be same old Dolphins. I thought it was going to be absolutely a disaster because we took the ball, right? We decide to receive, which we've done the last few games, which I don't think is a bad move. It's only been recently that teams have started to defer at the beginning of the games. Back in the day, everybody used to receive first. You want to try to get up on your opponent early, right? Which I always thought was a pretty decent move. You get a lead early, it definitely does something to the morale of the other team. So the Miami Dolphins get the football immediately before we even run a play. We have to use a timeout. And it's like, wow, here we go. And then Tua throws an interception, right? All on that first drive, Tua throws an interception. It's like, wow, here we go again. But the Miami Dolphins defense was able to stop Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. There wasn't really a time in this football game that I felt we were in danger of losing. So the Miami Dolphins win 30-13. Let's take a look at the stats. Oh, we got Josh Allen, who was 28 of 40 for 306 yards. Again, what do you have? How many touchdowns did he have? It's getting blocked. What do you have? Do you have 2 touchdowns? 1 touchdown? 1 and interception plus a fumble. James Cook, very pedestrian day, 13 carries, 53 yards, never really got it going. Josh Allen, 4 carries, 31 yards. Both those guys had fumbles. Receiving, Shakur, 7 catches, 58 yards. Coleman, 3 catches, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Listen, JJ Brents, is that his name? JJ Brents. He had a really good game. Really impressed me yesterday. Really had a good game. Really impressed me. Shake. Hey, Shake, what up, brother? How do I get out of the zoomed in camera mode? You know? It says that includes my good day. Let me see it. A change to the orientation. Go to settings, general, and select portrait. Where do I go to settings? General. It doesn't say orientation under general. Yeah, but the Buffalo Bills were never able to really get it going in this game. Let's look at the Dolphin stats. And Tua is blocked too. God dang it. Let me see Tua's stats. Oh, today is not working out good. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if today is working out for me or not. The Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills yesterday. So Tua was 15 to 21, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Again, the 2 interceptions, I'm not tripping on. I'm not tripping on the interceptions strictly because they were like punts. They were like punts. They were on 3rd and long. He took a chance. You know, if he's going to throw an interception, I'd like it to be a deep downfield, giving our players a shot. Would you like the situations to be better? I didn't feel like the receiver really had a shot on either one of those passes. So would you like the situation to be better for our receiver to have a better chance at the ball? Yeah. But it was like a punt. Devon Achane, huge game, 22 carries, 174 yards, 7.9 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. He has been absolutely phenomenal for us all season. He has been the best player on this Miami Dolphins team. He is just a great player. Could you imagine Devon Achane behind a offensive line that was actually a top 5 unit? The offensive line, 0 sacks given up against the Buffalo Bills. Jalen Waddle, 5 catches, 84 yards, 16.8 a catch, and that long touchdown while he was getting pass interfered. The defensive back was all over him. Jalen Waddle typically wouldn't make that catch. Typically is not going to make that catch. Did a great job, made the catch. Achane, 6 catches, 51 yards. Greg Dulcich, 1 catch, 22 yards. Malik Washington, 2 catches, 9 yards, and a touchdown. Again, just strictly absolute team win. Jesus. Let's get all these off. Let's go to the here we go. Take a look at the team stats. Buffalo Bills had 376 yards. The Dolphins 370. Passing yards, Buffalo Bills 289. Dolphins 173. Rushing yards, Bills 87. Dolphins 197. Yards per play, Buffalo had 5.8. Dolphins 7. First downs, Buffalo had more at 20-19. Third down efficiency. Neither team was overly great. 5-15 for the Bills, 3 of 9 for the Dolphins. Fourth down efficiency, the Buffalo Bills were 1 for 2. Total plays, Buffalo had 65, Dolphins 53. Sacks allowed, Dolphins got after the Bills, Josh Allen 3 times. Dolphins, no sacks. No sacks. Buffalo Bill punted the ball 4 times. The Dolphins punted 3. They had 6 penalties for 67 yards. We had 5 for 35. And yeah, this again, great team win for the Miami Dolphins. And what does it mean moving forward? What does it mean moving forward? I like the arm punt strategy on 3rd and forever. Listen, I don't think it was 3rd and forever though. Like if it's 3rd and 17, I feel even better about it. But again, I'd like there to be a more realistic shot for our receiver to be able to make a play on the ball. You know what I mean? Miller says the Jalen Wright run had me questioning why we don't play this cat more. Well, I mean, to be honest, he wasn't showing us nothing in preseason. I'm just going to deal with this camera view for now, and I'll figure it out later, I guess. But what does this mean for the future? You know, I think Stephen Ross was already leaning towards bringing Mike McDaniel back next year. Again, just for the simple fact that Tua Tagovailoa's cap hit is so huge next year. And if he's gonna pull off wins like this against the Buffalo Bills, which they're so very far and few in between, and it depends on what Stephen Ross really feels about Chris Grier. Did Stephen Ross really feel that Chris Grier didn't do an adequate job at giving Mike McDaniel a talented enough roster to compete with? Because let's be real, the Buffalo Bills can say they were beat up yesterday, but the Miami Dolphins, they've been beat up all year. How many different corners have we started? How many different tight ends have we started? Tyreek's gone. Ollie Gordon's beat up. You know what I mean? Grandizer, what's up? Victory Monday, how sweet it is. I think I see you smile too. It's good to see you happy, fan. Man, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I lost $800 on this game. Literally $800 on this game. And, it was a parlay. So it wasn't, I had $800 strictly on this game. But this is the only game that I lost in that parlay. I'm cool with it. Listen, if I'm going to lose money, if it means we beat the Buffalo Bills, take my money. Take my motherfucking money. Excuse my language. Take it. Take it. I give it. I give it. I gladly give it. I had no choice but to bet against the Miami Dolphins yesterday. Look at the record. Look at Josh Allen's record against the Miami Dolphins. So what choice did I have? But if I'm going to lose and I'm going to lose my money, listen, it's about to be Christmas time, man. That $800 would have done justice. But for these Miami Dolphins to beat these whack-ass, scumbag Buffalo Bills, take my money. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. So again, what's next for the Miami Dolphins? We got Washington next. I feel like that's a very winnable game for the Miami Dolphins. If we play complementary football like we did yesterday, like we get it against Atlanta, this team is capable of beating most teams. This team is capable of beating most teams. And Mike McDaniel, you can say what you want about Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel does have his bad games where you're like, well, what's he doing with the play calls? But then there's games Mike McDaniel plays he coaches a beautiful game. He absolutely coaches a beautiful game sometimes where you see that potential. You see why people say that he's McGenius. You know what I mean? You understand. And you just wish you could get that on a consistent basis from him. And again, we didn't need Tyreek Hill to do this. The Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, that's not what is beneficial for Tua Tagovailoa. That's not what's crucial for Tua Tagovailoa to succeed. A steady running game, the ability for the defense to be good. The defense has got to be good. If Tua's not going to have a bunch of playmakers, typically the Dolphins aren't going to be able to score 35 points a game. But the Miami Dolphins can win football games Tua Tagovailoa can win you football games if you're not trying to put everything on his back. He's not that quarterback. He's not the one that's going to be able to go out there and play hero ball. He doesn't have the talent of a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson. He's not that type of player. But Tua Tagovailoa, if you give him a running game, you give him some guys that can be where they need to be when he needs them to be there. And what I mean by that is guys that run precise routes. Tua Tagovailoa can win you games. Now, will he lose you the game if you try to put the game on his back? Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that he does that. But lots of times you won't even be in that position if you give Tua the things that Tua really needs to succeed. Man, in his words, expressive warning, sorry. Man, F Buffalo with a middle finger in the air, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I heard Mike McDaniel drove by yesterday, and there's a picture. I don't know if it's true. I heard Mike McDaniel drove by the bar where all the Buffalo Bills fans accumulate in Miami and was giving the fans shit out the window of his car. How about that? Bailey had a good game. I felt like Bailey had a good game. That's why I said all around good game by the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, Waddle is Batman. Tyreek Hill was always overkill. I'd rather have that first rounder back. I'm not going to say that because I think Tyreek was. I love Tyreek. I hope Tyreek somehow. I know it's a long shot. I hope that Tyreek comes back from this injury. I know he's getting released just because there's no way that Miami's paying him that type of money. But I deep down hope that we bring him back on a cheap deal. Big C game balls. Let me see. Right, Big C. And to be fair, that is most quarterbacks in the league. Give them an O-line, run game, and decent wide receivers. That quarterback will do well. Absolutely. So, I mean, that is most quarterbacks in the league. So, I mean, I think Tua's a above average quarterback. I think Tua's an above average quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know what I mean. There's the argument, the fact that Tua struggles to stay healthy, the fact that you can't put the game on Tua's back. I do feel like it's time to move on. But I'm not saying that if Mike McDaniel and Tua are brought back next year, that there's no way we win football games. I'm not saying that at all. I think we could still be successful. I'll give my game balls out in a second. But yeah, I would love for Tyreek to come back on a team friendly deal. Team friendly deal. Yeah, I mean, Bonnie, I swear to God, what was the name of the bar? If you're in South Florida, you know what bar I'm talking about. There's a bar up here called that bar, actually. Yeah, it showed Mike McDaniel leaning out his window in front of the bar with a Bills fan taking a picture like this. Like he drove by that bar. I wouldn't put it past Mike McDaniel. I wouldn't put it past him at all. I like Tyreek, but we got to keep it a buck. He set this team back. He was all about stat chasing. Miami didn't need that. But I hear you. I'd rather have humble Tyreek that gives his all. Listen, I think Tyreek was a team player, though. Did Tyreek want to get 2,000 yards? Yeah, he did. What player don't? But I felt like he was a team player. He was supportive of people. Elbow room. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, we got an elbow room up here. It's got some of the best chicken wings in the area. We got an elbow room right up here. My theory is that Mike McDaniel is captain, does what he is told by Ross, unlike Flores. There is no fighting between coaching versus GM and ownership. I agree, Grandizer. I agree. I think one more year we go with Tua and Mike McDaniel. I really do. I really do. I really do. You know what I mean? Listen, Tyreek Hill stat chasing, going for 2,000 yards. I mean, that's beneficial to the Miami Dolphins, that he's thirsty and hungry enough to go after and try to get himself 2,000 yards. He's a highly motivated player. Mike McDaniel might be a good head coach with Tweedledum Chris Greer if you give him a quality, and who knows how much say Mike McDaniel had on this roster. Was Mike McDaniel okay that we didn't address the offensive line like we, what I mean? Was Mike McDaniel okay with the depth that we had at cornerback? Was Mike McDaniel okay with letting Calais Campbell go? I doubt Mike McDaniel was all right with Calais leaving, right? You would think Mike McDaniel would have an issue with Calais Campbell leaving, right? I mean, Mike McDaniel, he gets all this criticism for being a player's head coach. He gets relationships with these players, so I'm sure he don't want to see any of these players go. I'm sure he didn't want to see Christian Wilkins leave. I'm sure he didn't want to see Robert Hunt leave. Big C, the issue I have with the Tyree stat chasing that it limits Waddle, and Waddle is good enough. He is very underrated. We can't have both to keep happy, unfortunately. I don't know if that's true. Tyreek's first year here, Waddle had 1,300 yards receiving, didn't he? I think Waddle got plenty of opportunities. I mean, obviously, Tyreek is wide receiver 1. He's going to get more opportunities. But Waddle had over 1,000 yards at the very least. If I had to give out game balls yesterday, and it's hard because I feel like you should give the whole team a game ball, right? I feel like you should have to give the whole team a game ball. I'm going to give a game ball to Larry Borum. I'm going to give a game ball to Larry Borum. I don't remember hearing Larry Borum's name called yesterday. Maybe I missed it. Maybe his name was called, but I don't remember his name called. And if his name's not being called, that's a good sign. I'd love to give the whole offensive line a game ball. 0 sacks given up. Also, you opened up holes for Achane to have 160, 170 yards on the ground. You know what I mean? I think all those players on that offensive line deserve a game ball, but Larry Borum, I didn't hear his name called. Defensively, I think that Fitzpatrick had his best game as a Dolphin. Obviously, he had Jordan Brooks. He had the strip fumble on Josh Allen. Juju Brents, I felt like he had a great game. I think he deserves a game ball. Achane, of course, game ball. One day I was clever, so I thought I'd to change the world. Another day I was wise, so I changed myself. Big C, player stock up, player stock down segment. Man, I mean the stock, I think the stock of the offensive line has risen to a point. I think the defensive line has played better. I think everybody has played better, right? I think for the most part, even that game against the Ravens, did the Ravens end up beating us pretty good by the end of the game? Yeah, they did. But if it wasn't for them 2 fumbles, the one by Malik and the one by Taj, I feel like we were in that game. If we didn't have the false start on 4th and 1 and missed the field goal, I think we would have probably been in that game, which means, we've won 2 of our last 3 games. And I feel like last week's game against Baltimore could have ended different without all the mistakes. So I feel like this team is trending in the right direction, whatever that means. They've played better the last few weeks. And of course, let me take a look at the schedule. Miami Dolphins schedule. So we got the Commanders, and then we have a bye, right? And then we got the Commanders game. I feel like that's a winnable game. Winnable game. You got the Saints. That's a winnable game. The Saints is a winnable game. And then you got the Jets. Definitely a winnable game. Steelers, I mean, you can say that's a loss, I guess. But I wouldn't put it past the Dolphins to be able to beat the Steelers. We just beat the Buffalo Bills. The Bengals, definitely a winnable game. Definitely a winnable game. And then you got the Bucks. That's probably a L. And then you got the Patriots. That's probably a L. But who knows? The Patriots might be resting players by, the Patriots are in the lead in this division right now. So what's that leave us? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-3 the rest of the way. Is that enough for Mike McDaniel to keep his job? I think it is. I think it is. I think for one more year, fans, I'm sorry if you're not a Mike McDaniel fan. If you feel like we should tear the whole thing down, I feel like you're going to be stuck with Mike McDaniel one more year. I think we're going to have Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa one more go around. Again, I don't think that is the worst scenario in the world. You go out and you find a competent GM. You find a GM. You have the GM come in, evaluate this team. You let him draft the players that he wants to draft. Hopefully he knows how to build a team, and you start building this team right now. And then when after next year, when 227 gets here, you can replace Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. And the rest of the roster should be looking pretty good. So in 2027, you draft your quarterback along with your head coach of the future. Plus, you should have a shit ton of cap space. Right? I mean, if we don't draft a quarterback and get a head coach till 2027, this new general manager, hopefully the offensive line is stable by then. Hopefully Kenneth Grant's has reached his potential. Hopefully Jonah's reached his potential. Patrick Paul should be even a better player. James Daniels should be here. Hopefully he comes back from injury and is the player we thought he should be. Achane should still be good. Waddle's still here. Fitzpatrick's not an old man. Jordan Brooks is still semi-young. We have pieces, and we can add more pieces next year in the draft. And then in 2027, you can draft your quarterback. You can get your head coach, and you should have a ton of free agent cap space to go and plug the other holes you have on this team. Big C, my game ball has to go to Jonas Ivanaya, right guard. He didn't allow any sacks, and as did the O-line as a unit, and he was key in opening up holes in both Achane's touchdowns in the fourth quarter. He's been playing better. He has been playing better. 100%. He has been playing better. Right, I heard Alan Poupart that Miami is still paying for Xavier Howard. That is insane. I think this is the last year the Finns are paying for him. Yep, they are. They sure are. I agree. Mike and Tua in 26 is the reality. The big decision is who will be our new GM, a Ross yes man or a real NFL GM. And Edward, that is true. That is the key component to all of this. That is the main hire right there. The Jets general manager of the Miami Dolphins. That is the big move. If we get that wrong, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If we don't hire the right general manager, a guy that knows how to build a football team, we're in trouble. We're in absolute trouble. Miami has 3 pieces on O-line. Get that right tackle and left guard in the draft. Let's go. I agree. We have pieces. So one more draft, you can fill some more holes. I feel like if you fill those holes in next year's draft, I think Tua and Mike McDaniel can get you back to the playoffs. I think they can get you back to the playoffs. Grandizer, I did expect us to be better this year. I expected more from Kenneth Grant early. I expected more from Jonah early. I thought they'd be better earlier on. I didn't think James Daniels would be hurt like he has been. I definitely didn't expect Tyreek to be out for the year. I did not expect Tua to have regressed so far this season, because Tua has regressed this year. Tua has played worse than he has played since probably his rookie year. Finspin says Tua is here next year, period. And by extension, that means McDaniel's back too. I think Champ Kelly runs it for a year. If they don't turn it around, they blow it up together. GM, coach, and quarterback. See, I would hire the general manager now. I mean, I don't really know too much about Champ Kelly, but am I putting this guy in charge of a whole draft? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'd rather get the general manager of the future now and let him start building this team the way he sees fit. Why waste a whole draft drafting players that Champ Kelly likes if they might not match up with the type of players our next general manager is going to like? That'd be a whole waste of a draft. That'd be a whole waste of a draft. I know Dawn Abernathy is one mention for a GM job. I don't know if she has an eye for talent, but we remember she is a Stanley Cup salary cap guru. She always finds money to be buyers. I'd rather have one that knows talent rather than it's all good and great that she can find money to spend on free agents. But if we can't draft worth a hell, we're doomed. You got to be able to draft well to be a successful NFL football team. You can't rely strictly on free agents. You can't do it. You can't do it. You got to be able to draft. You need to find these players that can come in and perform immediately, and they're getting paid pennies on the dollar. That's how teams are successful. You can't strictly build a team on free agents. It'll cost you way too much money. Way too much. You'll get a better GM if he gets to choose everything coming in. Well, FinSpin, that's a conversation that Stephen Ross has with the incoming GM. Hey, listen, obviously you know the situation. You know we got Tua on the books. It'll cost us $99 million. You know what I mean? And you tell the incoming GM, you tell these guys interviewing for the job, listen, we're going to keep them here one more year. No matter what they do is not a reflection on you. I just want you to evaluate them. I want you to draft the players that you want to draft in this upcoming 2026 draft. And then no matter what Tua or Mike McDaniel do, if you want to move off them at the end of 2026, you have the freedom to do that. And then you can bring in whatever player, whatever coach, and whatever quarterback you would like. And I think you'd get the general manager of your choice. I think if you tell the general manager that, the interviewees that, it wouldn't be an issue that Mike McDaniel and Tua are here. Where it would affect these guys taking the job is saying, hey, Mike McDaniel's our coach for the next 3 years, like it or too bad. Or that Tua is going to be our quarterback for the next 3 years, no matter if you like it or not. That's when you lose people. This is where Miami needs to call Tony Dungy or make amends with Jimmy John. I think Jimmy's too old. Jimmy don't want to do this. I think Jimmy's too old. Go get the guy from the Ravens. He's not Ozzie Newsome. He's no longer technically the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens. He's still over there helping out, but he's no longer employed by them. Go get Ozzie Newsome to flip this team around. Ozzie Newsome, give him a 3-year deal. Give him all the freaking money possible. He'll build some guys under him that will be able to take over for him when he does retire. But I would go and I'd throw the checkbook at Ozzie Newsome. That's what I would do. Ozzie Newsome, I'd give him every red cent I have. Or when is Andy Reid's contract out for coaching? Does Andy Reid want to go to the front office? Is he getting ready to be done as the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs? When is Andy Reid going to retire? I mean, I think he'd be foolish to retire with Pat Mahomes in the prime of his career. But you write a blank check to Ozzie Newsome. I think that's what you should really do. And I don't know if that gets him, but that's the kind of bold move you need to make. That's the type of bold move you need to make. All right, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you. I love you all. Listen, great win. Enjoy it. Don't worry about the draft picks. Don't worry about losing out on draft picks. Don't worry about all that. Just be happy. This is one of those rare wins. You got to be happy about it. No matter what it does for the draft next year, it does not matter. We beat the Buffalo Bills. These wins have came so far and few in between that you got to enjoy it. This was a great day to be a Miami Dolphin fan. You got to enjoy it. You got to love it. And if you weren't pumped for it, if you weren't freaking pumped for this win yesterday, I don't know what to tell you. But I know that I lost 800 plus bucks. We might have lost some draft position, but I don't care. I don't care. We beat them scumbag Buffalo Bills, baby. We beat them Buffalo Bills, and that's all that matters. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Fins up. Peace.
Yo, Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Marino the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squad's the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.